University Pirates. Respect the H with Eugene Marshall.
Hey Pirate fans, respect the H. Game day, Sky 4. Our Hampton Pirates take on North Alabama, University of North Alabama, today at 2 o'clock, Armstrong Stadium. We have a lot to talk about this morning with our guest, Coach Brendan Duval of our women's volleyball program, followed by the legendary voice, game day announcer, Reverend Jerome Barber. Then followed by the voice of Pirate Sports, Rich Somerville, and then Mr. Jermaine Washington will talk about our new $1 Million campaign. There's a lot more to talk about. It's game day, Respect the H on Sky 4. Welcome back to Respect the H, Sky 4. It's game day. Our Hampton Pirates are taking on University of North Alabama here at Armstrong Stadium, 2 o'clock. Our guest today is Coach Brendan Duval of our women's volleyball program. Volleyball program is currently on the move. Coach, welcome.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
How's the program doing so far?
Really well. You know, we're young, we're slightly injured, but with that being said, usually in the past, that usually would be a little bit of a hurdle, but we've done a good job when it comes to recruiting and developing players that we're a lot deeper than we've been in the past. So unfortunately, with some players being out, gives a good opportunity to a freshman or a sophomore right now to step up and emerge in that role, and they've been doing a decent job. I mean, it's a tough conference we're in, volleyball-wise, but you can see the passion that these girls have for the sport. It's been fun in the gym for sure.
You had a very good camp, very good preseason. Everybody came in ready, fit to go. Yep. And so that now with some injuries, you've been able to kind of plug and play and not a lot of drop off. No,
not much. You know, there is a learning curve a little bit, and you can see the biggest part is their willingness to want to get better. Usually when you're young, you get frustrated pretty easily. You get concerned about making errors, and we tell them in the gym that, you know, this is where you have to make your errors. You have to fail quite a bit for us to be able to move forward. So they're grasping that very well. You know, we are going to be returning some people here pretty soon, which is going to be great. But they're going to have to fight to get their spots back because the underclass have stepped up quite a bit.
And you had a nice balance of matches. You had some easy to get started, then it got tougher and tougher. Right. So let's talk about that a little bit.
I think the biggest thing when you have a young team, we have out of 16, we have 6 freshmen, 6 sophomores. I think the biggest thing, you have to learn how to win. You know, this is way different than high school and club. So when they come from the club atmosphere, or even they come from phenomenal programs and very well trained, which is why they're here, the sustainability of being good all the time, that's the biggest thing. So for them to get out in the gym and have to fight with each other, you know, and yet love each other at the same time, you can see how you know, the development keeps getting better and better. For us, we had to get in right away in the early season to win a few matches, give them some opportunity to build some confidence, and then start building into some tougher matches because that's what our conference is going to be like.
Well, we're going to be right back with Coach Duval here on Respect the H, Sky 4. It's game day.
I was diagnosed with cancer of the left breast. I was never given the option of proton therapy. Fortunately for me, my sister had just toured the facility at the Hampton University Proton Therapy Institute. The beam was able to target my tumor precisely without affecting my heart or lungs. After treatment, I'm living my best life.
Live your life. Let the Hampton University Proton Therapy Institute fight your cancer.
Hey Pirate fans, welcome back to Respect to H, Sky 4. Our guest here is Coach Duval, and we're talking about the progress of our Lady Pirates women's volleyball program. Coach, you were talking about some of the injuries and how everybody's starting to come back, and when they come back, they're going to have to fight for their positions.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the number one thing we needed to really address in our gym was how to compete. You know, you got to fight, you got to scrap, and we get in the gym, and we're hoping the atmosphere that we create in our gym, practice-wise, will mirror, if not exceed, what we see mainly in our matches. So even though there's some dynamite teams in our conference, we feel like day in and day out, we're fighting and we're pretty tough in our gym, which will carry over into the matches.
Now, who are some of the Lady Pirates that we can kind of highlight and put a spotlight on?
Well, we're excited to have Sydney Sumner come back. She's been one of the ones who's been injured. She's a senior. She's the floor general. She's that calming force on the floor when you do have some youth, the one that can kind of say, hey, we've been here before. Let me show you how this is done. Gabby Calloway has been phenomenal. She stepped up quite a bit. Somebody who last year had learned some lessons about what it means to be an outside hitter in this conference. But she stepped up and did a lot of work this summer. Megan Delgado's out right now. She should be somebody that really, one of our all-conference players. But in her place, we have a Leah Barkley who's stepping up and developing as a really good outside hitter for us. And then as a freshman, one of our best players is Genevieve Reynolds, who local girl from Virginia Beach. She's stepping in and is one of the top 10 in the conference in blocking, and really has made a name for herself already.
And when you look at the conference, how do you feel with regards to our progress from last year to this year?
Oh, it's tremendous. Yeah, we're excited about that. It's tremendous. I mean, we know what we're up against. To win this conference, we're going to have to become a top 60 program in the country. That's where High Point's been. That's where Radford has been. So we're going to have to do something that we've never historically done in our school, and we're excited about that. And we're really anxious to continue to push the pace and continue to develop, because we want to be a top 100 program for sure.
And when you look at some of the progress, you're getting to game 3, you're getting game 2, right? You need game 3. And how has the closing been? Have we been able to close that third game?
I think that's pretty much every single practice we have. We looked at where we failed last year, what we needed, especially with the amount of freshmen we knew we have coming in. Where did we fail with our freshmen last year, and how do we really kind of correct that situation? And we spent a lot of time doing finishing games, starting the score at 18-20, which is usually where we are. We're usually up or right around that point, and then in the last couple points, we find a little bit of failure last year. This year, we're finding a lot more success, really kind of pointing home that, you can be great all throughout the set, but you got to finish. And that's been one of our biggest points when we get into practices.
And it seems to be that the team is responding very well, because they seem to be excited. I get a chance to go through and watch practice for a few minutes here and there. They seem to have a lot of high energy. They seem to be listening. When the film sessions are going on, they seem to be attent and playing really, really high level this year, as opposed to kind of last year. They were not a lot of confidence.
That's a lot to do with recruiting. We all know that. Recruiting is the lifeblood of your program. One of the biggest things we drive home this year, especially, is we tell them they have responsibilities. They're responsible for the enthusiasm. They're responsible for the work ethic. They're responsible for the energy to bring into the gym. We'll take care of everything else as coaches. Last year, we felt like we had to really push that. This year, it's not as much, which has been really good.
We have a little bit more to talk about. We're going to see our Lady Pirate volleyball team in action. We'll be right back. Respect to H, Sky 4. It's game day.
We do this every day for men suffering from prostate cancer. The Hampton University Proton Therapy Institute treats several types of cancers: breast, lung, prostate, head and neck, ocular, GI, brain and spine, pediatric. There are no hospital stays with proton beam radiation. The beam travels right to the affected area and stops, which leads to fewer side effects. Call us now. It could make all the difference.
Live your life. Let the Hampton University Proton Therapy Institute fight your cancer.
Pirates fans, I'm Jonathan Scott, and our player spotlight for this week is Lady Pirates assistant volleyball coach Sonia Maximovich.
Hello.
Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
How you doing today?
Good, doing great. How are you?
Have a great interview.
Yeah.
So this is a player spotlight. You used to play here and you used to go here. Tell me a little more about that.
Well, I think it's a common dream for foreign students to come here to America and combine education with sports. So at that time, we had a player. I'm originally from Belgrade, Serbia. Serbia, interesting. And at that time, we had a player from my city. So she introduced me to the scout from America who comes often to Europe, make videos of volleyball players, and then send that to American colleges. So that's how I found out about Hampton, and it was a quick decision to come and play here.
All the way from Serbia.
Yeah.
What was that like coming to Hampton for the first time? Was it your first time in the States?
First time in the States.
Wow.
Definitely amazing experience. Definitely different lifestyle than what I'm used to it, but I got adjusted pretty quick, so great transition.
If you could give any advice to any other international students watching this, what would you say? At least attempting to play sports in the States.
Exactly. Well, I often say I wish I knew then what I know right now. So after so many years of experience being a player, then graduate assistant coach, and now full-time assistant coach, I have so many things to, like, what I would like to say to myself when I was a freshman year. But definitely something that I really think is important is time management. I think that that's what you need to learn before coming here, how to manage your sport time, your academic time, also your social life, family life.
Important.
That's very important, and a lot of people actually struggle in the beginning because it's very hard to manage all of that. So I would say before coming to college, if you can work on that, and then definitely give your 100% in everything you do. There's no shortcuts. And if you want to be a better person, better athlete, better student, better friend, you need to do 100% in everything you do.
Words of wisdom. So not only did you come here as an international student, you played here, and now you're coaching. Tell me how you made the transition from player to coach.
Yes, I came here 2011 as a true freshman, all the way from Serbia. Never been before here, as I said earlier. I played for 4 years, and my last 2 years, my junior and senior year, we won the championship. We were in the MIA conference at that time, so we got the opportunity to play some big teams. That was amazing experience, and then after that, that time head coach asked me to stay and finish my master, and also stay involved in volleyball, since that was my dream. So I found that as a great idea, and I stayed for 2 more years as a GA. And then my last year of being a graduate assistant coach, Coach Brandon Duval came as a head coach, and then he promoted me to be a full-time assistant coach.
I was diagnosed with cancer of the left breast. I was never given the option of proton therapy. Fortunately for me, my sister had just toured the facility at the Hampton University Proton Therapy Institute. The beam was able to target my tumor precisely without affecting my heart or lungs. After treatment, I'm living my best life.
Live your life. Let the Hampton University Proton Therapy Institute fight your cancer.
Welcome back, Pride fans. Respect to H. Sky 4 is game day. Our next guest is the legendary Reverend Jerome Barber, who is a Hampton alum, pastor, GM of radio studio, voice of game day for Pirate football, men's and women's basketball, and the man that does so many things for his beloved home by the sea. Reverend Barber, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Marshall. Good to be here.
It's always good to have you around on game day and all days.
Thank you so much.
Just let our viewers in on the behind the scenes, Reverend Barber, all the things that you do.
Well, as you stated, I'm a graduate of Hampton. Graduated back in 1981. Went to the military. Got back in this area around 90 or so. And immediately came back to my home by the sea and started volunteering, doing some things with athletics, and did some things with the radio. And so trying to figure out what I want to be when I grow up, I guess. And that was all before I started pastoring in this area. And the door opened up for game day announcing. And I thought, who better I just jumped right in, and it's been a good ride. Been a real good ride. I've enjoyed
25
myself.
years.
25 years. Best seat in the house, right on the 50-yard line. It's been fun. I actually used to, back in the day, I used to travel with the team and did their Fellowship of Christian Athletes on Friday, right before game day. But that was when I coined the phrase "stay up, play up," telling the young men that the most important scoreboard is the one in their mind, and they always have to bring their best self to every situation. So I guess the phrase now is "move the chains,"
Yes.
which really didn't originate with me. The boosters would sit in front of me, and we had some very colorful boosters. And whenever we got a first down, they would not only say "move the chains," they would sing in harmony "move the chains." So I just had the microphone and my voice was louder, so everybody thought that came with me. But they remind me constantly that
they're the author.
They're the author of "Move the Chains." Yes, sir. But let's hear it for the defense. That's mine.
That's yours.
That's mine. That's mine.
Let's hear it for the defense.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Matter of fact, in case I'm not doing well on the day, I think you can jump right over there on that microphone.
No, I'll stay in my lane. But it's always great to have Reverend Barber with us. And we'll be back here on Sky 4. Respect to H, game day. We'll be back.
Get ready. It's a Big South Conference matchup as the Hampton Pirates take on the North Alabama Lions Saturday, October 5th. Honor breast cancer survivors and supporters. Come enjoy Family Day and City of Hampton Day, starting with the Fan Zone tailgate, the free kids zone featuring giant inflatables, face painting, and more. Ages 21 and up, check out the cool beverages and sounds of All City Entertainment in Adult Zone. Enjoy an exciting halftime performance with the Marching Force. Don't miss it. Hampton versus North Alabama. Kickoff at 2 p.m. Saturday, October 5th at HU's Armstrong Stadium. Call now or visit HamptonPirates.com.
Hey, Pirate fans, welcome back to Respect to H. It's game day. We have with us today as our guest, Mr. Richie Somerville, the voice of Pirate men's and women's basketball and football. Welcome.
Mr. Marshall, thank you.
Now that you get a chance to be in front of the camera as opposed to behind the camera, let's give our viewers and a little background on Richie Somerville.
Well, let's see. I've been living in the Hampton Roads area since 1980. We moved here from Georgia, my family did. We settled in Williamsburg, so I graduated from Lafayette High School in 1986. Went to Clarion University of Pennsylvania, graduated there in 1990, degree in communications. Immediately after that, I got a job at the station that I interned at, which was at the time WGH 1310 AM, which has now become ESPN Radio 94.1 with Max Media. And about 6 years ago, I was asked to come over here and see if I wouldn't want to do some of the games on the radio. And I said, sure, and it's turned out to be a pretty good deal.
The rest is history and success has been made.
Yes.
So, as we talk about the play-by-play, what goes into it?
Well, a lot of preparation, knowing your subject, if you will, on the field, and trying to study as much of your home team and your opposing team as you possibly can, knowing obviously a lot more about your home team, but you want to at least let the listeners know that you know a little bit about what's going on with the opposition too, and trying to provide not only the information about the game itself, the whys and the wherefores that are going on there, but also provide an entertaining broadcast. One of the things I kind of learned as I went along is that people will choose to either go to a game or listen to a game or as their entertainment for the evening. And well, if things aren't going right, you think, well, maybe not as many people are listening, but if you provide an entertaining broadcast, even if you have, maybe a poor season going on, people are still going to tune in. I kind of learned that with the Cubs with Harry Carey back in the 80s. It was kind of like a bit of an influence on me. Harry always seemed like he was breaking the rules when he wasn't, when he was on the air, but the Cubs weren't exactly interesting. But you tune in because Harry was on the air and he would say something interesting or say something funny or say something entertaining. And if you can keep the fans entertained through the good times and the bad times, it become pretty successful.
And how do you keep it balanced, not being considered a homer, even though you are the Hampton University radio announcer?
Well, you just try to be, straight with the people. You don't want to mislead them into, thinking that things are going great when they're not. But at the same time, this is college sports too, and you don't want to completely say that, if somebody's not, if things haven't gone exactly well, hey, these aren't professional kids, or these aren't professional athletes out there. These are kids who are learning. Right. So there's some of that you have to communicate as well.
Exactly. Well, thanks, Rich. We appreciate having Richie Somerville on, the Hampton University play-by-play radio announcer. Hey, we'll be right back with Mr. Matt White, ESPN Plus game analyst. Respect to H. It's game day, Sky 4.
When I was diagnosed with prostate cancer, I thought that was a death sentence. It was surgery or regular radiation. They didn't tell me anything about proton therapy. Thank goodness I had people around me that said you need to check out the Hampton University proton therapy. I just was delighted to have proton therapy. I feel great. I had no side effects and I didn't miss a day of work. We're very fortunate to have a facility like this here in Hampton.
Live your life. Let the Hampton University Proton Therapy Institute fight your cancer.
Welcome back, Pirate fans. It's game day. Respect to H, Sky 4. Our next guest is no stranger to the Hampton Roads community as well as Hampton University, the legendary Matthew White, our ESPN Plus analyst and all things TV. Mr. White.
Mr. Marshall, it is a pleasure to be here, sir. Thank you.
I know it took a lot for us to get you here, and your time was very valuable.
My time is very valuable, but I can always make time for you and the Hampton Pirate program, sir. It's just a pleasure to be here.
Well, we appreciate it. Just kind of give our viewers a little bit about Matt White, ESPN Plus.
Well, I am a proud Hampton alum, a product of the Scripps Howard School of Journalism and Communications. Started out my time here doing the WHOV broadcast for a number of years, even after graduation. Stepped away from broadcasting for a little bit, did some local sports and some print work, did a little radio outside of sports, and then I came back to Hampton about 5 years ago, and that was around the time we started the Pirate Sports Network. And then with our move to the Big South, that has evolved now into ESPN Plus. So it's just a true blessing to be able to be a part of a broadcast that's shown around the world on the ESPN Plus app.
And then the day job. Let's talk about the day job.
The day job, yes. I'm the Director of University Relations here for Hampton University. So my day job, I'm behind the scenes telling the great stories that go on our illustrious campus. Talk about our great president, Dr. Umar Harvey, the great work from our faculty, staff, and students. And then, I moonlight doing sports. So it's a great 24/7 Hampton experience.
So we can call you Mr. Inside and Mr. Outside.
You can call me whatever you want, Mr. Marshall. I'm just here to do a great job to represent this fine institution.
And you do. Just kind of talk about some of the relationships that both university relations and athletics has bestowed upon you with regards to meeting good student athletes, and just all around great folks.
It's just a great opportunity. It's almost like the key to the campus. You get to meet so many of our fine professors who are doing some groundbreaking research. You get to meet some of our students that are producing amazing academic efforts and research. You get to meet the student athletes that are doing all of those things, plus they're competing night in, night out on the court, the field, whatever their specific sport may be. And then you also get to meet a lot of the behind the scenes people. You talk about them a lot. The people that are in admissions, the people in financial aid, the groundskeepers. There's truly an entire program that starts at the top with President Harvey, and it goes all the way down to the people that help keep our facilities in tip-top shape.
Well, we're going to have Matt White on from time to time, if his schedule permits, to kind of keep us abreast on all things Hampton. We'll be right back with Mr. Jermaine Washington to talk about plans for a $1 million athletic campaign here on Sky 4. Respect to H, it's game day.
Get ready. It's a Big South Conference matchup as the Hampton Pirates take on the North Alabama Lions Saturday, October 5th. Honor breast cancer survivors and supporters. Come enjoy Family Day and City of Hampton Day, starting with the Fan Zone tailgate, the free kids zone featuring giant inflatables, face painting, and more. Ages 21 and up, check out the cool beverages and sounds of All City Entertainment in Adult Zone. Enjoy an exciting halftime performance with the Marching Force. Don't miss it. Hampton versus North Alabama. Kickoff at 2 p.m. Saturday, October 5th at HU's Armstrong Stadium. Call now or visit HamptonPirates.com.
Welcome back, Pirate fans. It's game day. Respect to H, Sky 4. Our special guest is Mr. Jermaine Washington, who is Director of Athletic Development and Corporate Partnerships. He wants to talk about our proposed $1 million facilities campaign for the athletic program. Welcome.
Hey, thank you very much, Mr. Marshall. Great to be here. So the campaign is something that we discussed and wanted to launch up in Chicago when we were playing Howard University. Then we had a great response. People were very enthused, and it's just about getting behind our student athletes and just making sure they feel, very eager and encouraged about what we have here at Hampton University. With our great leadership, with Dr. Harvey and yourself and our conversation that we had prior, it was just something that I definitely thought we needed to put in place. And this is to try to get some, upgrading the facilities, new locker rooms, football, softball lighting, so we can probably get some night games, some turf, and things of that nature. So that's the reason for trying to launching it. But having the support from alumni, the community, and things of that nature, just getting behind Hampton Pirates and Pirate Nation, I think is a great opportunity right here.
No, it is. I think that's a great idea. I think over my 5 years being here, under Dr. Harvey's leadership, we have already, he has appropriated over $10 million of renovations and upgrades for our athletic facilities. And this would just be another one of those great initiatives that comes under his leadership, and I think it'll help our student athletes with less missed class time by having night games, and also allowing us with the turf facility to play when the weather's inclement. So I think it'll allow them to practice a little bit more, play when the weather's inclement, and also keep the Pirate tradition going.
Absolutely. Can't agree more. So if people are interested in definitely donating and supporting our Hampton Pirates, HamptonNation.com, they can always find a donation button. Be great to have them supporting us, absolutely.
And then we got the golf outing from around homecoming time.
Oh yeah, that's a great outing. People come out, have a great time, enjoy themselves. This year is on October 25th, so people come out, shotgun is at 8:30. Have a great time. Come enjoy yourself and all your Hampton alums, friends, family, and everything else. So definitely come on out at the Hamptons.
Well, thank you, Mr. Washington. We'll be back to wrap up this great show here on Respect to H, Sky 4. It's game day.
Surrounded on three sides by water, Hampton University is one of the most beautiful university settings you'll find anywhere. From our world-class research centers to our dedication to the arts and our athletic programs where we build leaders and champions, we challenge our students to excel at the highest level. At Hampton, we've launched satellites that will better predict the weather. The Hampton University Proton Therapy Institute Cancer Treatment Center is easing human misery and saving lives. Hampton University faculty, staff, and students are making a difference in the global community through service and science.
Hey, Pirate fans, as we close out another great episode of Respect to H, Sky 4, it's game day. Come on out to support breast cancer awareness. It's Pink Game. It's City of Hampton Day. And we're waiting to see you 2 p.m. Armstrong Stadium.